Hello everyone, my presentation is based on what I heard in the 12th episode of The Good Stuff, dealing with green chemistry. This podcast is a conversation between two women, Annie Leonard and Beverly Thorpe. Annie Leonard is an American proponent of sustainability and a critic of consumerism. She is an author in addition to being a film creator. One of her notable work is the animated documentary The Story of Stuff. In 2014, she became the executive director of Greenpeace USA. Beverly Thorpe, co-director of Clean Production Action, whose mission is to turn the vision of clean production into practical tools to advance greener chemicals, sustainable materials, and safer products. She has campaigned for safer products with United Nations Greenpeace International and other organizations for more than 25 years. First of all, we are going to talk about toxic chemicals that are present everywhere. PVC, which means polyvinyl chloride, is a very toxic plastic. You can recognize it by the number 3 in the chasing arrows. V is for vinyl. PVC is one of the most problematic plastics because of its actual toxicity and all these additives that are added in. So, how is PVC made? PVC is a mix of basic oil with chlorine that went through various stages until involving a lot of known carcinogens and chemicals that are known to cause cancer. By the same token, Beverly Thorpe once made an experiment. Back in 2005, she collected vacuum bag dust from 100 homes, sent them to a lab, and discovered that there was DDT in the dust. DDT is a very dangerous pesticide that has been banned in the 1960s due to its persistence in the environment. You can find it outside since DDT was sprayed around the US, and it can get into your homes by tracking dust and dirt on your shoes. This is why it was banned. It can last for decades and cause environmental and human health impact. This chemical could be found in products just bought last week. Most of environmental laws try to regulate toxic pollution to some predetermined acceptable level or clean it up after it happens, but the real issue is not how much poison the government or industry says is safe to be exposed to, but the right of the consumer not to be exposed at all. But the way the law is written and enforced, it's almost impossible to remove a chemical from the marketplace, because chemicals are considered innocent until proven guilty. Still, there are solutions. Green chemistry is coming up with new ways to make chemicals and the products made with them safer. It works to reduce chemical pollution at its source before products even reach the marketplace. Green chemistry is the opposite of toxic chemistry, so it questions whether or not this chemical product is going to cause cancer, persist in the environment, or become a water pollutant. In conclusion, a lot of companies are now avoiding PVC plastic because of its toxicity. Because people don't necessarily know that products in the supermarkets aren't always tested, the companies making the products have a huge responsibility. They need to know everything about chemicals going into their products. Some company leaders are phasing out the most toxic chemicals, causing plastic producers to get rid of chemicals that are known to cause cancer and reproductive problems. It is a brilliant way of avoiding business risk as more and more regulations keep piling on. It is just much more economical to be ahead of this, and if you have safer chemicals in your products, you don't have to worry about upcoming European legislation that may affect your global supply chain. Furthermore, more and more people work to find safer alternatives. Some organizations are formed for concerned citizens wanting to get involved in cleanup or products, getting rid of the chemicals. Nevertheless, even with a growing number of volunteers, there is still a lot of resistance to move forward. People don't want to worry about the chemicals, they leave it to the chemical industry to give them what works. We are at the beginning of the road to greener chemistry.